Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Remember when Donald Trump said he was going to give every American $2,000? Yeah, you remember that? Well, he don't. At least that's what he says. Check him out.
You promised $2,000 checks to Americans based off of your tariff revenues. When can
I did do that? When did I do that?
well, I mean, you're
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, I did 1776 for the military,
When
right?
will those Americans get those checks?
Well, I am going to. The tariff money is so substantial that's coming in that I'll be able to do 2,000 sometime, I would say toward the end of the year.
You promised $2,000 checks.
Family, it's one thing to forget that you said you was going to give one person $2,000. But when you lie and say you're going to give millions of people $2,000, when you say that, you know damn well you remember saying that. Ain't no way you're going to forget saying something like that. But he had to say it to justify the tariffs and all the other bad moves that he was making and to try to get people's mind off those Epstein files. He said he gave $1,776 to the military. The reporter quickly shot back, "When will Americans get those checks?" I don't know who she is, but I ain't got no problem with that. Hold that fool feet to the fire. Well, he don't remember, so I pulled the records. This is what Donald Trump said on his Truth Social, on his failed Truth Social, about giving Americans $2,000. People that are against the tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market price. 401ks are highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt, $37 trillion. Record investment in the U.S., plants and factories going up all over the place. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. If Trump don't know how to do anything else, he knows how to lie. Yeah, this dude publicly backed the $2,000 checks at the end of 2020, even criticizing Republicans for blocking them. Once the Georgia runoffs passed and power shifted, the $2,000 never materialized. Most people got $600, but the rest of the $2,000 only was realized after Biden got in office. And let me give you some more. So he said that Mexico would pay for the wall. That never happened. And that was a big one, right? Mexico never paid for the wall. But guess who did? You, U.S. taxpayers. Yeah, fam. Large sections of the wall was never, ever, ever constructed at all. There was only partial fencing built, and much of it was replacing exterior barriers. And then he said, I passed the biggest tax cut for the middle class. So check this out. The 2017 tax law gave permanent cuts to corporations and temporary cuts to individuals. Many middle-class families saw small, short-lived benefits that expired or were offset later. The health care plan was 2 weeks away. That's another promise he made, right? For years, Trump's promised a full replacement for Obamacare and said it was coming very soon. No comprehensive plan was ever produced or passed. He said the election was stolen. Despite dozens of court losses and no credible evidence, Trump repeatedly told Americans the 2020 election was rigged. Judges, including Trump-appointed ones, rejected those claims. He said he didn't know about various scandals, right? From hush money payments to misconduct, Trump often claimed ignorance, only for documents, statements, and recordings to later contradict those statements. Trump frequently took credit for economic trends that began before his term and denied responsibility when things turned downward, especially during COVID. And then he told this lie: "I'm the most transparent president ever." But in practice, he fought subpoenas, blocked testimony, refused to release tax returns, and used executive privilege aggressively. Here's the deal, family. Trump lying to Americans is not unique. Politicians do it across the board. But what sets Trump apart is the volume, the audacity, the confidence, the consistency in which he lies and turns falsehoods into talking points that people argue about to this very day. This dude cannot be touched in regard to the lies. I mean, like, when I say you can't believe nothing he says, when I say he takes a dump on the Oval Office on a daily basis, when I say he goes out of his way to make sure that there ain't a shred of respect left in the office, you better believe me. Like, his first term, it was like, look, man, I wasn't in here long enough to mess it all the way up. Let me finish it off. He got back in there. Let me tell you how I knew for a fact he was going to do exactly what he's doing right now. When he was sitting in that courtroom and he had that stoic look on his face, when they were prosecuting him, he couldn't believe it. He was sitting there in silence the whole time thinking to himself, I'm going to get all you I'm going to get all y'all. He was plotting vengeance right then and there. He was thinking to himself also, damn, if I go to prison, they're going to get my booty because I can't fight. So I know he was thinking that. I know he had to be thinking that. So his mind was probably drifting between getting his booty taken and vengeance on his enemies. He probably going back and forth, like, you know, he was really, really quiet. If you watch those recordings, it was extremely quiet. Hell, I'll show you the picture. Just check him out. He was extremely quiet. And because he was in deep thought. So that, if I had been one of his enemies on the political side and I had the power to finish him, I would have finished him by any means necessary. And I would have made sure that everybody understood why he needed to be finished. We got to finish this uncivilized mutt. You cannot let him breathe. You cannot let him continue to go on. You cannot let him get back in office. If he gets back in office, he gonna come for all of us. That's what they should have been thinking. Like, he gonna come get all of us if we don't finish him. They had him, man. They had him and they let him off the hook. Which makes me believe that perhaps this really was all staged, like all of it. The silence that we're getting from Congress, the lack of people in leadership roles who are calling him out. Hell, besides Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett, there ain't really too many people saying anything about him. There's a few other people. You got Waltz and a handful of other people, but I'm thinking about recognizable names, like big names. There ain't a lot of them saying anything. It's like they're sitting back like, well, we gonna win either way. And then the rest of them, you know, are just cowards. Wow, like, I knew it was a lot of cowards out there. But I didn't know that the cowards were so concentrated in Congress. I'm talking about cowards. They are really scared of this dude. Did I tell you that he was a human being and he gonna die one day? Did I tell you that if his skin get punctured, he's gonna bleed? If he has a weak immune system during these winter months, he's gonna catch a cold, might catch pneumonia, might die. Did I tell you that? Yeah. So you mean to tell me these guys with all of this power are scared of a dude who can't walk on water? He can't walk through walls. He can't survive being torched. If he smashed his finger, he wouldn't immediately say, God, oh God, darn or something. Like he wouldn't need like any ice. He wouldn't have to ice it. He wouldn't have to like get any kind of pain medicine or nothing. He could just keep on moving like nothing happened. Man, I wish I would be scared of somebody that got to go through all of that and would be affected the same way I would. I wish I would. But these are grown folks, fam. These people got businesses. They got spouses. They got children. Some of them got great-grandchildren. Running around here scared to death. You should see them in the meetings. Y'all seen them? They have meetings and they just be quiet. Nobody would challenge him. Like nobody. Even the leaders of the foreign countries, they won't challenge him. They just take it. They just sit there and just be listening and giggling and shit, just laughing at his corny jokes. Like all of them just want a pat on the top of the head. They just want a pat from massa. Ooh, man. The disrespect. Disrespect. The dude be lying, man. And I'm talking about he don't tell regular lies. He tell big lies. And he don't have to come through. And he still get a pass. And people are still falling for the okie doke. He gave that 1776 to the military because he wants to make sure the military has his back when he asked them to do illegal things. You see? That's why he didn't give it to him because he loved the troops so much. He gave it to him because he's going to use the troops as his personal henchmen. He's given these people who are signing up for ICE $50,000 bonuses and all this kind of stuff because he's using them as his personal henchmen, his goons, for the same reason that Congress and law enforcement won't get rid of the KKK. That's their personal goons in case anything goes bad out here. They ever need them. They got some savages. They got some killers, some real killers on the team. That's why they got rid of the Black Panther Party, who was for the community, who was for uplifting the community, a positive organization who was for feeding the kids and educating and helping people get jobs, right? And helping them learn how to even become employed. They got rid of that organization, but they kept the organization that was built on murder and mayhem and chaos. Because as long as they're doing it against black folks and other folks, then they can feel some type of sense of superiority. Like, if we can keep them over here, well, they can keep these people over here in constant fear, maybe we can use them to keep these people over here in check. That's why they haven't gotten rid of the KKK. Here's the bottom line. Trump didn't just lie once or twice. He lied thousands of times. This dude trained Americans to accept broken promises as leadership and confusion as truth. No more talk.